What is up, you guys? This is D-Man HD, and I am back once again here with my man Vince. Say what up, Vince. Wait. Hold up, D-Man. Hold up. Very important announcement. We gotta show you guys something real quick. Here you go. Here's your apology form. Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Fuck you, haters. Josh Allen's awesome.
Vince? I said, say what's up to the people. You just like gonna go mute?
Nah, no, when you was talking, it cut out.
Oh.
So, I couldn't hear you. But, you know what I'm saying? It's a new week. It's gonna be a fun show.
Just so y'all know, I'm keeping all that in. I'm not editing any of that out. But yeah, we got an interesting week for the Buffalo Bills coming off a Monday Night Football game where the Bills probably played one of their most complete games of the year. They had one turn. That was a fun game to watch. Josh Allen probably had his best game in his career, 80% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 375 yards. And Buffalo got their 9th win of this season, their first win on Monday Night Football since 1999. And,
I was negative 1 year old at that time.
I was 1 year old. Maybe. Yeah, I was 1 year old because I was born in 98. So, them winning in 99, I could have seen it. I don't remember it. But first win on Monday Night Football since 1999. And they're back on prime time. But they're playing the 11-1 Steelers. But Vince, can you tell me the last time the Buffalo Bills at Week 14 could be a playoff team?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Cool. My bad. That was for when you announced the Steelers. My bad. When they were playoff team last year, they were.
No, but I'm talking about when they could make the playoffs in Week 14. And yes, I'm talking about playoffs because the Bills needed 5 situations this week to happen for the Bills to clinch a playoff spot. The first one already happened, and that was the Patriots losing to the Rams. This week is interesting for Buffalo because they have a game of interest at every time slot the entire week. Thursday Night Football, they needed the Patriots to lose. 1 o'clock on Sunday, the Chiefs play the Dolphins. They need the Miami Dolphins to lose. At 4 o'clock, the Colts and the Raiders play. They need the Raiders to lose. Sunday Night Football is where the Bills and the Steelers are going to face off in Buffalo. If Buffalo wins, and then if the Cleveland Browns beat the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills have clinched their spot in the playoffs. Week 14. Which means
Ravens in this scenario? I don't remember that.
it was 5 scenarios. You needed the Ravens to lose, you needed the Raiders, the Patriots, Dolphins, and Bills win. So you needed 4 losses and a Bills win. And if all that happens, Buffalo will clinch the playoffs. But let's say one of those doesn't happen, but Buffalo wins and Miami loses. Next week, when the Bills go to Denver on Saturday Night Football, the Bills could lock up the AFC East. It's a fun time to be alive, and it's a fun time to be a Bills fan. So let's get into this week's matchup. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a surprising loss to the Washington football team. Buffalo coming off one of their best wins of the season.
I think it's surprising. But hey, that's just.
I found it a little surprising. I thought the Steelers would get past the football team, and then they would struggle against the Bills this week. But let me ask you a question, Vince. And this is just going to be a quick fire round. Let's see if, we agree on this, right?
Yes, sir.
Because I was seeing a lot of this earlier in the week from the quote-unquote media. Would you consider the Los Angeles Rams a quality win?
Yes.
Would you consider the Las Vegas Raiders a quality win?
Yeah.
Would you consider the Miami Dolphins a quality win?
Yeah.
Would you consider The Seattle Seahawks, a quality win.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, we all see how at the time. I mean, like, granted, yes, I know I understand what you're getting at right here, but at the time, yeah, that's definitely a quality win because of where the Seahawks got. But right now, I mean, the Seahawks still up there, but they ain't what they was when we played them. So, I mean, but yes, I still consider it a quality.
Would you consider your first Monday Night Football win this century a quality win?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it wasn't the best opponent. I mean, I'd rather have been an opponent with a winning record, but hey, it's a Monday Night Football win, so it's the same as you with them.
Would you consider a division rival who you have not beaten since 2016 a quality win?
Yeah.
So where are these non-quality wins that Buffalo has? Keyshawn Johnson, you stupid motherfucker. I don't care. We don't get monetized on this bitch anyway. Dan Orlovsky, I gotta say something to you real quick. Give me a fist bump. Yeah, I just fist bumped the mic. I need a fist bump from Dan Orlovsky. He is a true Bills Mafia lover this year. He's even saying the facts. Buffalo has 9 wins. 7 of their wins are teams against the playoffs. And newsflash, if Buffalo knocks down that Hail Mary, they've won 6 of their last 6. They're 6-0 in their last 6. Their 2 losses were to a Titans team where they had no idea when they were playing the game, and the defending Super Bowl champions who are arguably the best team in football. So, where are these teams that aren't legitimate wins when you want to praise the Patriots for, barely losing? You want to praise these teams that don't win, but Buffalo wins. It's not a quality win. Everyone was picking against Buffalo. The Bills were underdogs on Monday Night Football against the 49ers, who the Bills are a much better team, and they proved it. And the Bills won. I'm sorry, my little rant is over. But we got the... I just had to get that off my chest because somehow, some way,
Cool. I mean, like I said,
we still get hate.
Here's my thing on the situation. I mean, people are gonna say what they say. I mean, those who have been Bills fans for a while now, for the majority of their lives. I mean, hey, Buffalo has never really gotten a lot of respect from the national media, except for certain people, certain areas where people will respect the Bills. But I mean, it happens. It's been like that for a while now, and it's probably not going to change anytime soon. So, I mean, like I said, like Dan Orlovsky made it known on NFL Live earlier this week about how Buffalo has 9 wins, 7 of them are against people who are in the playoff picture right now. I mean, the only win there's only like 1 or 2 you probably say that people really wouldn't consider a signature win, which is probably the Patriots because of where they're at right now. But it's a signature win for them because they haven't beat them in a while. Of course, the record doesn't show that, but and then that's about it. I mean, maybe you can say the Raiders. They've been off and on.
The only wins I would say are not quality wins for the Bills are the Chargers and the Jets. Everyone beats the Jets unless you're the Raiders, who have to go up for a 40-yard bomb against cover 0 all-out blitz against the Jets to win the game. But the Bills beat the Chargers. The Bills beat the Jets. Those are 3 of their wins. So you can say 6 of their wins are still legitimate opponents. Because no matter... The Patriots could be a 6-7 team like they are this year, but they're still a good team. It's not like they're the scrub bunch. They still have a good defense. They still have the best coach in history of the NFL. So it's never going to be an easy matchup. But let's get into this week's matchup. We got the Buffalo Bills hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. As we are recording this video on Friday night, the line for the Bills-Steelers game, I believe, is now -3 in favor of the Buffalo Bills.
It went up.
Yep, -3. Over-under is 48 points. And we got a pretty good game, it looks like, for the weather for Buffalo. It looks like it's going to be, like, not too bad. 48 degrees. You got 48-degree
There will
weather.
be snowfall. There will be snowfall.
Snowfall?
There'll be snowfall.
Maybe we get...
I don't know. I don't know at game time, but there's predicted snowfall during that game.
So, this is definitely going to be the Bills' toughest challenge on the year. I mean, you could say the Chiefs, you could say the Titans, but this Steelers team, they're tasting defeat for their first time this whole season. They're going to be hungry. But they're also injury-riddled and COVID-riddled. It's going to be interesting. They already confirmed that Williams, their linebacker, will miss this week. Spillane will miss this week with a leg injury. Hayden is out with a concussion. They already do not have Bud Dupree. They already don't have Devin Bush. These injuries are piling up. The major factor that's still in for the Steelers is arguably the Defensive Player of the Year in TJ Watt. And we all know what happened with the Bills when they played the Chargers. Joey Bosa was destroying the Bills' offensive line by himself. TJ Watt's a better player than Joey Bosa. Buffalo's going to have to double team TJ Watt if they want to stay in this game and keep Josh Allen protected the entire time. What do you guys say about that, Vince?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough world out there, man. Injuries are part of the game. No, it's as simple as this. I knew this going into the week. A couple Steelers fans I know personally. Been a very interesting week. They're going back and forth with them. I mean, Buffalo wins this game. People are gonna find ways to value it because, oh well, Steelers are missing some key people. They're missing Bud Dupree, man. They were missing Joe Hayden, man. They were missing key people. But really, it should never be that. So, I mean, but it sucks that they're not going to be at full strength. I would love them to be at full strength because it would make it more satisfying when they do win. But hey, it is what it is. They still got enough pieces on that side of the ball to be able to compete, and they still have a strong defense. So we'll see what happens.
No, I shouldn't say no game. Most games in the NFL are no easy game. You saw it last week with the Pittsburgh Steelers losing to the Washington football team. You saw it last week with the Raiders almost losing to the Jets. I'd say unless you're the Jets or Jaguars, there's no easy win in the NFL. You could have multiple injuries, riddled with COVID, and you could still lose.
You can't even say that about the Jaguars. The Jaguars gave the Vikings a nice little game last week.
That's very true. And it was horrible because, like, you know, as a Bills fan, I don't want to see my division rivals, like, you know, shine a little bit. So when I was seeing the Jets almost win, I was like, yes, they're not going to get Trevor Lawrence. And then they jetted. That's what they did. They just jetted. I mean, they find new ways to lose games. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting matchup for the Buffalo Bills. Prime time, we got to see Josh Allen shine under the primetime lights. And now, like we said last week, that was only the first week of 4 straight games that the Bills will be in primetime lights. You have last week on Monday Night Football, this week on Sunday Night Football, next week on Saturday Evening Football, and then the week after that, Monday Night Football. You're getting 4 games of Bills primetime football. And how great is it to say, Vince, that in Week 14, the Buffalo Bills quarterback, Josh Allen, is an MVP candidate.
So it's great. Hell, if he had this team last year, I probably would have said that. But, hey, you know, look, man, 2020 ain't been the best year for most people, especially sports-wise. But, I mean, hey, if this has been a fun year for Buffalo. It's been a fun year to watch football. I knew we had a gem once he was drafted, but it's just been so fun to watch him develop and grow right in front of us. Like it's crazy. It really is, and it's so surreal to see. Especially his decision making has gotten a whole lot better from year 1 to year 2, from last year to this year. I mean, it's been fun. And like I said, last Monday night was very awesome to watch because it's just the throws he was making. It was like not many quarterbacks in the league can make the amount of throws that he was making on Monday.
No.
Especially the one in particular that got a lot of attention was the one that he threw Bray Warner's hair early in the second quarter. I don't know. To be honest, I know we got Mahomes and Rodgers, but to be honest, I really don't think even them two could make the throw that he made. And you got to think about in the position that he threw the ball. He threw it really like you didn't see his foot come off the ground. He was real planted, and he's just doing it with a flick of his wrist.
I will
and
say.
He puts it in a spot. He puts it in a spot where only Gabe Davis can get that ball from.
Oh, absolutely. I will say this. I will say the only person I think could make that throw is Mahomes. I think he's the only one that could make that throw. But I want to say, if Mahomes did make that throw, we'd still be seeing it on ESPN 5 days later. The only reason why I was seeing it all over Twitter is because I follow so many Bills fans and Bills reporters showing that play constantly. But I didn't see ESPN or NFL Network tweeting that out. I just saw a few people tweet it out. But if Mahomes makes that throw, the world is loving it. Josh Allen makes that throw, no one bats an eye. That was probably one of the best throws of the year. Over a linebacker jumping to where the linebacker couldn't even get a fingertip on it, and not only Gabriel Davis isn't reaching out. That hits him right in the middle of the chest, right in the numbers. That is a perfect pass by Josh Allen. Beautiful ball. Yeah, I mean, right now the Bills have a MVP candidate right now in Josh Allen, and a lot of it has to say a few things. I mean, that's Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane, and Brian Dable developing Josh Allen. BBB extended till 2025. Him and McDermott will have expiring. Let's be honest. Even after 2025, the Bills will most likely be keeping them still to that day. Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have contracts to 2025. Brandon Beane was just extended. But they have done a fantastic job of developing Josh Allen. And this is me looking at two different situations. You have Josh Allen and you have Sam Darnold. One team has developed him, given him targets, or given him weapons, given him offensive line help, and truly helped him develop, bringing him in a good offensive coordinator, and Brian Dable, who sadly the Bills might lose. Guys, you don't want Brian Dable. He's so inconsistent. He's a horrible play caller. It's all Josh Allen. It's not Brian Dable. You don't want him. Please don't take it. Please don't take Dable. We love him.
I don't think Dable would be. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Granted, I understand that he's especially with the way he's been playing, the way he's been calling games this year. He's gonna have a lot of teams looking at him. But I think his relationship with Josh is too strong for him to think about even leaving.
I don't even think it's the relationship he has with Josh. It was something I found out on Monday night during the broadcast. I did not know Brian Dable was from around Buffalo. I did not know he grew up in that area. So I think that's going to be the true key factor to keeping Dable for the Bills. But like I was saying, you helped develop Allen. Last year you brought in Cole Beasley, you brought in John Brown, you drafted Dawson Knox, and then this year you acquired the superstar in Stephon Diggs, who's playing like a top 5 receiver. At some points, he's playing like the best wide receiver in the NFL. I'm not saying he is, but he's playing like it. And then you look at the Jets. Sam Darnold didn't have any offensive weapons. They let go of Robbie Anderson, his one true weapon. They started helping with the offensive line, but they really couldn't develop anybody. I mean, Mekhi Becton looks good. But then, like, you look at the rest of his targets. He has Jamison Crowder and then Denzel Mims. And, yeah, I mean, it's two different situations. And this is why Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott had built not only a culture, but a family in Buffalo. All these players would die on a hill for Josh Allen, and Josh Allen would do the same for anybody. Whether it's Devin Singletary, Stephon Diggs, or even Reed Ferguson, the long snapper. He is going to die on the hill for any one of his players. And that's what Buffalo loves about Josh Allen. Even in an interview earlier this week, Josh Allen says he has only one fear in this world, and that's letting his teammates down. It's not like, him like being horrible. It's him letting his teammates down. That is true leadership. And that's why I love Josh Allen as the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. But can we say how underrated Cole Beasley is? My God, is he amazing. And I tried to get something going on the Bills Reddit page and on Twitter. It didn't really gain any traction. I was trying to get Cole Beasley's nickname to be changed to Staples because he makes everything easy. And it really didn't get any traction. I understand. It's a little bit of a stupid nickname. I thought it was clever.
Hey, good, bro. Hey, clever you. Clever you. Clever, man.
I like the nickname. He does make everything easy. My imagination was because you just press the Staples button. That was easy. That's Cole Beasley. He makes everything easy. He had a career high 103 yards against the 49ers. He had a touchdown. I think he had 9 catches on 11 targets. I mean, he's amazing. So let's.
Another career year, man. Another career year for Cole Beasley.
Mm-hmm. He's on pace to have another 1,000, or his first 1,000-yard season, I believe. It's crazy. So let's get into, a true deep dive of this game, because we've been on for about 22 minutes. We haven't really spoke about anything about the game except the injuries for the Steelers. I spoke about it earlier in the game. For the Bills, their offense, their key is going to be their offensive line. They need to establish a good running game, and they need to try to neutralize TJ Watt as much as possible. You're not going to completely wipe him out of the game unless he gets injured, and knock on wood, we don't want to see anyone get injured. But the only way you can neutralize TJ Watt is running away from him, double teaming him on the pass plays, make sure he doesn't get around the edge to hit Allen, because there was 2 plays back-to-back weeks where Joey Bosa comes in and he hits Josh Allen from behind, and somehow Allen was able to tuck that ball back in and not fumble. And a similar play happened this week where, I forget who it was, just came right off the edge, Allen doesn't see him, and gets whacked from behind, doesn't fumble. TJ Watt, he's stripping that ball out. He is a personality where he sees ball, he gets ball. He's stripping it out. And you even saw it last week against the football team. He forces a fumble, and he's an inch away from recovering it himself, but the ball just took a different bounce and went right into Logan Thomas's hands. The Bills need to neutralize TJ Watt as much as possible, and they need to let Josh Allen cook. I mean, when they let him be free, throw the ball, run the ball, whatever he wants, he looks flawless. He was flawless last week. I think he got credited for that fumble on the goal line with Zach Moss. I think he was credited for the fumble loss, which it really was not on him. It was on Zach Moss. He just never had it clean. But Bills want to win this game. They're going to have to play flawless on offense like they did last week against the 49ers, like they did against the Seahawks. They have the ability. If they can neutralize TJ Watt, I think the Bills have a very good shot of winning this game. And on defense, You got to rush Big Ben. You got Matt Milano back last week. He was a big part of it. If I'm the Bills, I'm sitting in 5-6 packages where I'm blitzing 5 or 6 people. I might even disguise a cornerback blitz with Teron Johnson, maybe even Dean Marlowe, Matt Milano, AJ Klein. You need to rush Big Ben because if you're giving him time to throw, you're going to get either beat by Claypool or Juju Smith-Schuster because you know Tre'Davious is going to be locking up one of them. Levi Wallace is not going to be locking up the other, which might be the reason to bring up Dane Jackson, and I know you're happy about that. Dane Jackson might have to be brought up for the Bills to be that true number 2 corner, because when you look back against Arizona, a one-on-one ball.
I really do.
I mean, how many corners are winning a one-on-one matchup with DeAndre Hopkins where he can get up there and knock the ball loose on a goal line fade? Not many corners. Dane Jackson did that. I think he's the best second corner that they have on the roster. And then you can have Teron Johnson in the slot to try to cover Deontay Jackson, or Johnson, I should say. And hope Juju and Claypool get neutralized. And blitz Ben Roethlisberger a lot and try to rattle him. What do you think are your key matchups on offense and defense for the Buffalo Bills?
Nobody's worried about them wide receivers. They're allergic to catching the ball anyway.
That's true. They have a lot of drops.
Have you not been watching the Steelers?
They have a lot of drops.
The big narrative going around it, man. They so good on TikTok. It's just not showing up on the field, bro. Crazy. So sad. So sad. Feel bad for me. But that's another story. Yeah, man. Like I said, personally, I don't really think. I mean, the offense is gonna be the offense. It's gonna be they're clicking on all cylinders. Smart thing to do is you attack the slot. You find Cole Beasley as much as you can and use him. But really, like I said, on the back end for them, I really don't think they have anybody to cover all the guys anyway. I don't think either one of them back there can cover Diggs one-on-one. So there's probably going to be some doubling on him. Granted, Diggs still managed to have 10 catches for 92 yards last week. But yeah, he's going to get his opportunities. Gabe Davis had a good amount of opportunity, a good amount of plays set up for him on Monday night. Hell, he even caught a wide open laser.
Yes. And
Laser, bro.
I was watching, I forget who I was watching, and someone analyzed that play perfectly. And I think, like, the coaching staff told Josh Allen, like, Sherman is an eyeball watcher. He watches the quarterback's eyes, and that's what made him so good when he was, like, in his prime. Like, the quarterbacks didn't expect him to jump it. Allen just does like, a quick little shoulder fake. It catches Sherman, and it freezes him, leaving Davis wide open in the end zone, and that was a beautiful ball. Now, like I said, I predicted last week a 35-yard touchdown. 28 yards is close enough, right? But we also said 4 touchdowns for Josh Allen, so we got that one right. But I think the big thing for Allen's going to have to be knowing where Minkah Fitzpatrick is on the field at all times as well. Minka's a ball hawk ever since he got to Pittsburgh. He's been probably one of the best defensive backs in football. He's been an all-pro, Pro Bowler, and he's only been there about a year and a half, almost 2 years at this rate. If Josh Allen can get Minkah away from the ball, Buffalo's going to have a better chance. Because like you said, they're going to have to double-team Diggs, which is going to leave Gabriel Davis and Beasley one-on-one coverage, and you're going to expect that like second man to be covered with Diggs is going to be Minkah Fitzpatrick. If Allen can get Minkah and Diggs one-on-one, Diggs is going to win that battle because Diggs can do a quicker route cut than Minkah can anticipate. You saw it on Tuesday Night Football when the Steelers played the Ravens. Hollywood Brown is just going in and out trying to like get Minkah to bite, and Minkah just couldn't pick a route, and he was just able to walk in the end zone at that rate. Diggs has the same ability to do that, so that's going to be a big player to watch for the Buffalo Bills, TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick. You got to neutralize T.J. Watt.
And
You got to know where Minka Fitzpatrick is at all times.
well, here's another thing for the offense. Like I said, they're so I'm pretty sure whatever the means this week, they zoomed in, they watched film, they're like, okay, hey, if we're gonna have Josh throw 40 times, we're gonna have to make him work for everything that he gets. So if they're smart, if what Buffalo is going to kind of act at is they're gonna have to find a balance. They've done a good job at times this year finding the balance between the run and pass, but they're gonna have to be effective running the ball. Now, granted, Singletary had, I want to say, about 12 carries last week for almost about 70 yards. So, only reason why they weren't they didn't really lean towards the run as much Monday, because Josh was just finding open holes in his own end zone and man coverages, and he was just finding that he just saw a lot of things in the 49ers defense where he could just pick them apart easily. The Steelers pose the same type of thing because that's another top 10 defense that he'll be going up against. Personally, like I said, on the back end, I don't think they can cover any of our wide receivers. So he's gonna have opportunities to pick them apart as well. Do I see him throwing 40 times? Possibly. Like I said, every week is gonna be in between 40 Dude with 32 or 40 last week and completed 80% of his passes.
So that's an amazing stat line.
That's a very unrealistic stat. And on top of that, I think a lot of people knew. But that was Alex Monday Night Football debut.
Yep.
He would have had one 2 years ago, but he got hurt.
Yep.
He was not able to play that game. But I'd rather him not play that game if he was going to have a debut like that this past Monday.
Quick question.
So, like I said,
do you remember who was the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills that Monday Night Football game?
I don't. I mean, I do, but do I really have to say his name?
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't a pretty game to watch. I mean,
it was not.
Question. I mean, it was Derek Anderson.
Yes, it was.
Concussion himself. But yeah, so that's it. Like I said, that's offensive. Defensively, like you said, pass rush. I mean, Buffalo has found a way to get. They've done a great job of getting pressure. The back end. they got to find somebody outside of Davis, because like Leslie Frazier pointed out earlier this week, Levi's got to make plays in order for people to stop taking on him. Because if not, then you're just gonna have what you had on Monday night, where the team literally the entire game Nick Mullins threw to wherever Levi Wallace was, and that's where they got going to the yardage from, which was this side of the field. So, I mean, like I said, I was calling for it. I've been calling for it. I mean, I don't know why we didn't really just keep him on the roster, but if they can find a spot, I think we have to pull Dane Jackson back up. But I don't know if he has any more call-up, because he's been called up twice this year. And I forget how their protocols work or whatever for the practice partnership. I don't know. But they can find a way to get him back up there. It'd be very nice. And he should start. Because Levi got to learn somewhere. I don't know.
So
he's just not looking like the corner that we saw his rookie year.
So with the COVID protocols with the practice squad, I believe it's you have 2 call-ups before you can't be protected, and then you have to make a decision if they want to sign you to the 53-man roster the next time they bring you up, because once they bring you up, they can't send you back down and keep you safe. That you can be picked up off somebody else's practice squad. So as of right now, they don't have to protect Dane Jackson because he's still on that second one. But the next time he gets called up, he has to be signed to the 53-man roster, or they could lose him. They can't protect him anymore.
Makes sense. I understand why they wouldn't hold on to it. I mean, hey, man, look.
At this rate, I think he would be the best person for the number 2 corner, especially.
That's what I'm saying. You have to. have to, like I said, it just puts Frazier and McDermott in a very tough spot for Saturday. So if I'm a Buffalo fan, you have to be watching the transactions that get made Saturday. Because if you see that Dane Jackson gets called up, then it tells you a lot about what this team is thinking about. Because look, you saw what McDermott did to Moss on Monday night.
I was just about to mention that.
The dude did not. The dude did not see the field. He only played a total of 11 snaps, and I think that was his like fourth snap after on the field after he had fumbled. And then it turns out in the press conference the day after, they asked McDermott about it, and he gave what I hope a logical, competent coach would tell you.
You can't put the ball on the ground.
That's to learn. You cannot put the team in situations where it gives the opposing offense, the opposing team a shot at scoring points, and that goes to the goal line. So, I mean, which was a smart move by McDermott. As we're watching the game, I'm telling people around me, I'm like, yo, I don't think we're going to see Moss the rest of the night because,
Nope.
like I said, if I'm McDermott, I am benching him because he has to learn that you cannot, like I said, you can't put the team in bad situations like that. So I hope that Moss has learned a very, very, very good lesson and that he will not put the ball on the ground again.
I mean, you saw it actually last week, too. You saw it this past week with the 49ers, and you saw it last week with the Chargers. When Singletary fumbled, you didn't see much Singletary again. You saw Zach Moss carrying that load in the fourth quarter, trying to run that clock out because they thought he was going to be the more secure ball handler with that, and he was going to protect it. So McDermott is not afraid to bench you if you mess up, which is what a strong coach should do. He doesn't show favoritism. I mean, you look at players, they get benched. I mean, Moss fumbled in the first quarter. He didn't see the field again. He held the ball 3 times. Didn't see the ball. He didn't see the field again after fumbling. That tells you something. We don't care if you're a rookie or a pro or like a superstar. If you mess up, you're going to be held accountable and you will not see the field for the rest of the game or maybe even some plays. You're not seeing the field for a while. And I love that about McDermott. He doesn't care who you are. If you mess up, you mess up.
Like I said, Saturday is going to be an interesting day because we have to see what decision will be made here because this is, and the crazy thing is, this is not the first time that Frazier has mentioned that Leon Wallace has to play better. He has to. People start picking on him. Now, granted, before, like at the beginning of the game, he made a great play on the ball, but unfortunately, the rest did not see it the way that we all saw it, and he got flagged for pass interference.
Yeah.
Personally, it was not a pass interference.
No.
He just made a great play on the ball, he turned his stand, and he knocked the ball away.
It's perfect coverage.
After that, he did not make a very good play. Other than that, he looked atrocious. There was literally one play where he let IQ just run by him. And,
Yep.
And it was just awful. So, like I said, if Frazier is going out on a limb and continues to mention this, then you have to put it puts him in a tough spot. So I would not be surprised if I see Dane Jackson called up tomorrow and eventually get signed to the 3-man roster. So I don't know if you cut somebody. I don't know.
I think they have 2 roster spots availability due to John Brown being on IR, so I think they can call him up and have no restrictions because of that. I believe.
John will be back.
He'll be back next week. So, and then if worst case scenario, you probably cut Darren Lee or someone like that. But also, you know what I just looked at? I was looking at the stats from last week's game. Josh Norman did not tally a single stat in any category last week. So,
he didn't see the field, that's why.
That's what I'm saying. It's interesting that, you saw Levi struggling, but you didn't want to put in Josh Norman to replace him. So that's saying right there that, Levi gives you a better chance to win than Josh Norman, but even Levi himself is a little bit of a liability on coverage, and we've seen him get beat on like multiple rounds. Granted, you're gonna see a stat right here that's like, a little confusing. He was your second leading tackler. He had 10 tackles. That's because he's the closest person to the ball because he's getting beat. So you can have 10 tackles. But that's because you're the one getting beat tackling him right away. So yeah, let's get into our bold predictions and our game predictions. My first bold over under. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. Over or under, Zach Moss comes back stronger and rushes for 100 yards on the game.
Against the Steelers?
Yep.
100? You know what? I'll be nice this week. I'll be nice this week. Say he goes over.
You're gonna say he goes over.
I do think they will be able to find holes, and that they'll be able to find a little. He'll be able to get some opportunities, get some creases to cut up field. We have a good old line compared to the football team, so yeah, it'll be nice. We'll get him over.
I'm gonna say under, but I say he gets about like. I say he doesn't get 100 yards, but I say he gets like about 75 and a touchdown. I think Zach Moss might have his best game as a rookie, knowing that, okay, I'm going to be held accountable for what I do on the field. I'm going to make sure Sean McDermott and Brian Dable and this entire team knows I'm here to be a key contributor and person that you can rely on late in the game. I think he gets. I think he has a great game. 75 yards and touchdowns. My bold over-under for Zach Moss. Over-under, Buffalo establishes the run game early and rushes it 5 total times on the first drive.
Where'd you come up with that one? You came up with that one by yourself? They might help you with that. That's a little snoop for you. I'm proud of you. 5? Yeah, I think they will. I'm never gonna lie. Because it's like I said, I think they're going to do that to set up the pass. Now, granted, it won't be the first play because like I said, I know you heard the stat. Buffalo is literally leads the league in first down pass attempts.
Yep.
Yeah, it won't be the first play, but when they attempt 5 times, I think they will. Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna attempt to play keep away, but they will try. Yeah, they will attempt to establish the run.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be over 2. And before you say I didn't come up with that question myself, I did, but I've just been listening to a lot of talk shows because I love listening to the talk shows a day after a Bills win because I want to see what they have to say. Because I love having to hear what the what Bills haters have to say after a beautiful win. And everyone was saying it's true. Both teams struggle to establish the run. Buffalo's not the best rushing team. They're not the worst, but they're gonna have few runs here and there. But it's not a horribly kept secret that the Bills cannot run the ball all that well. And the Steelers, they're getting James Conner back, but they can't establish the run either. Ben Roethlisberger's throwing it 50 times a game. That's not how you win football games. And it's not how you win football games with Ben Roethlisberger. So I think the Bills would try to establish the running game early. I'm going to say over as well. I don't know if I said that earlier. I'm going to say the Bills try to establish that run game and really try to open up the passing games in all assets for Gabriel Davis, Dawson Knox, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Singletary, even from the backfield. All right. Over or under, the Bills are the first team to put up 30 points against the Steelers.
Even.
Even.
Never mind. No, Well, I mean, if it's even, that means that they have to get like what? Three touchdowns, 3 field goals.
4 touchdowns and a field goal would be over. 3 touchdowns and 3 field goals would be even.
Like 30, we talking about 30 points total, or specifically from the offense.
30 points total.
30 points.
No team has put more than 30 points on the Steelers.
I'm gonna say over because look, the confidence continuously grows every week with this team. Yeah, give me over. Because you know what? It won't be all offense.
Oh.
Defense is gonna make a play. There will be a play made from this defense. I don't know whether it'll be a fumble, a strip sack, or something, or a pick. But we all know what happened. We all know what happened last year on Saturday Night Football. Granted, it won't be big game. But a certain someone by the number 27, had a great game on Saturday Night Football, man.
I think it was what?
But
2 picks? 2?
2 interceptions, and they should have been pick sixes, but we're not going to talk about that. We have an opportunity to get there. But, Big Ben is a smart quarterback, and I highly doubt he will attempt to target Tre'Davious White. So. But Tre'Davious White finds a way to the ball somehow, some way. So I think he'll be in there somewhere. But I think a turnover will be created, and there will be a defensive touchdown score.
I'm going to say over as well. I think Buffalo gets 4 touchdowns. I think
it's not defensive, special teams.
I think Buffalo's going to get 4 touchdowns on offense. I think, and I wouldn't be surprised with a special teams or a defensive touchdown. I mean, Andre Roberts, my God, has he returned so many balls close to a touchdown. I mean, San Francisco, he had to make one man miss. He's bound to break one. And I'm just going to end it there because my next over-under is Andre Roberts gets a kick return, whether it's punt or kick or a kickoff, of a 50-yard return. 50-plus yards over or under for Andre Roberts.
I'm sorry, repeat that. My fault.
So we were just talking about him, how he's so close to breaking off one for a touchdown. I just asked, is the over/under that Andre Roberts gets a 50-yard return, whether it's a kickoff or punt return, in this game? 50-yard return for Andre Roberts. Over/under.
50 yards. The last 50-yard return he had was what? That was against the Jets. No, it wasn't the Jets. No, it was not the Jets.
He's had a lot of long returns.
But he's only had one over 50 yards. That was against the Seahawks. That was that. Remember, he actually opened up the game with a 6-yard kickoff return, and it was led to their first touchdown early in that game. So, I think he will, because I don't think. Well, the Steelers' special teams isn't all that great, so yeah, I think he will. But I think it'll be on a punt, kind of like kickoff.
So,
like I said, he's bound to break one. It's coming soon, man. It's coming soon. I guarantee season's over.
So I'm looking at his stats right now. He's had 25 kick returns for 717 yards, averaging 28.7, a long of 60. He's had 20 punt returns for 239 yards, an average of 12 yards, and a long of 38. So basically, only needs is
117 yards. On how many returns?
He's 25 returns, 25 attempts. I'm gonna say over. 717 returning yards on kickoffs, and 239 on punts. He'll get to 1,000 yards most likely this game, returning.
For those that are watching, I don't think I understand how unreal that is. On 25 attempts, the man has 717 return yards.
Yep.
No wonder why he made the Pro Bowl last year. That's ridiculous.
He is probably one of the. He's a top tier returner. a lot of people don't give him the credit he deserves. He's one of the best returners in the league. You can see it. His average is 28.7 yards. So if he's even taking the ball out at, like, let's say he's taking it out at the end zone, he's giving them 3+ yards. But a lot of the time when Andre Roberts is returning it, he's getting the ball like at the 5-yard line. So he's getting the Bills to like the 30 to 40-yard line to set him up on good drives. So I say he does get a 50-yard return in this game, and I think he gets a touchdown. I think this is the game on Sunday Night Football against the Steelers. I could see it happening in like the second quarter. Buffalo struggling a little bit, and then boom, that's the spark they needed, and he gets something right back in the game. Maybe.
I'm gonna be thinking about that stat for the rest of the night, man. That is unreal. Like, I knew he was doing good, but that is ridiculous. On 25 attempts, he
25 attempts.
That is ridiculous. And they've had damn near like 100 kickoffs this year. So that is wow. That's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, you also want to talk about Corey Bajorka as being one of the special teams players of the year. He's only punted it 29 times. And this is going to be the Bills' 13th game.
His leg is rested. He's chilling. He's enjoying life right now.
He's punted the ball 29 times. That is ridiculous.
Every week, man. He is enjoying life.
And out of those 29 punts, he's punted it 11 times inside the 20.
That's awesome. Great.
But that's going to be the over-unders. Any bold predictions?
Bold predictions? You know what? I had a question a minute ago, but now it slipped my mind. It was for you. I can't remember what it was, but it slipped my mind. Yeah. Okay. So bold predictions. Big Ben turns it over 3 times. Boom.
Big Ben turns it over 3 times? All right.
Defense gets 3 turnovers. That's my bold prediction.
My bold prediction? I predicted this so many times between just like this show and like me just talking with my dad. But I'm going to say it again. Tre'Davious White gets his first career pick 6.
Oh, I remember my question. Yeah, it's back in. I'm glad that we talked about this. So my question for you:
Uh-huh.
do the Bills win this game convincingly?
What would you say is convincingly?
Convincingly is by 17 or more points.
17 or more.
Like they just straight up.
So a 3-score win.
Yeah.
I could.
Do you think that Buffalo holds them to under 10 points and they score like 30?
Under 10 points? No. I see the Steelers scoring 7.
This offense is look, let's be real, man. This offense is trash. Bro, they can't. Here's the crazy thing. Mike Tomlin is a very good coach, but and you're getting James Conner back. If you do not, and you choose to continue to do what you've been doing, which is letting Big Ben throw the ball damn near 45 to 50 times a game, and literally just not run the ball, when statistically, but not really, Buffalo has struggled against the runner. But the only reason why those stats are skewed that way is because of the Kansas City game.
Yes.
But since that game, they've only allowed one 100-yard rusher that I know of, which I think on top of my head, it was damn.
What? The 100-yard rusher?
Matter of fact, no, take that back. They have been allowed a 100-yard rusher since the Kansas City game. Now that I think about it, yeah.
I think.
It may be allowed 100 total yards as a defense, but
I think the only game. I think the only game that might have came close to that would have been New England with Cam. Because Cam had a lot of rushing yards.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. It was New England.
Yeah, Damon Harris had 102 rushing
That was
yards.
the only 100-yard rusher that they've allowed since that Kansas City game. Other than that, they've had everybody else to literally under. Actually, I think they had everybody under the 70-something yards rushing.
Yeah. So, like, looking at the Patriots game, they had Damien Harris at 102, but Cam and then Rex Burkhead had 54 and 26 combined, so 80 yards total minus Damien Harris.
So, of course, when people bring that statistic up, it's like, okay, you statistically, it looks like we're bad against the run, but really we haven't. Only reason why it looks that way is because of the Kansas City game. So,
Yeah.
I mean, hell, they've been good against the run without Milano. And Milano was pretty much the biggest reason why they were good against the run. But
So to answer your question, do they win convincingly? I'm going to say yes. I think Buffalo can win by 3 scores. I don't know if they will. I think they can.
Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? He changed his answer. Because originally he said no. Now all of a sudden that I brought that setup. Hey.
Like, I'm thinking about it. Like, I think the Bills can win by 3 scores. I would love them to win by 3 scores. I'm going to say yes, but it's like
You do realize
a coin flip.
If they go out there and literally just dominate the Steelers, like you do know, like there's gonna be a lot of odds in it, right? Like especially on Sunday Night Football. But I don't think people get how big of a national stage this is right now. Like if they go out there and win like 20, like if they go out there and win like the Rams did on Thursday night. It's gonna be a fun week for fans. I don't know about the media. The media ain't gonna have fun with that, but man, like I'm not gonna start talking for the entire week, bro.
Oh no, me neither. And like knowing if the Bills win this game, not even let's say they win by 1 point. No matter what, and the Dolphins already lost to the Chiefs, knowing that all Buffalo has to do is wait 6 days, and they could win the division that day on Saturday Night Football, would be amazing. Like that entire week is gonna be amazing for Bills fans. Let's get into our score predictions, Vince. You so confident, I'm going to let you go first with your score predictions.
I go first every week, man.
I know.
It's crazy. But hey, let's put the ball in my court. Man, look, I'm a confident dude. But confidence grows every week. What did I say last week? I said like 35 to 10 or something like that. No, that's it.
Something like that.
It was something like that. It was I did predict the 30s. I did say that. I know that for a fact. I think I said 35, but the score 34.
I think I said 31 for the Bills.
Yeah, they let up a little bit more than what I expected it to, but it is what it is. Let me give you 2. One was what happened in reality, and the other one is it can happen, but it probably won't happen.
Okay.
So the reality score, I'm gonna say 24-10. I'm gonna go 24-10. In reality, the one that can happen, but probably won't happen, is they score 35 and they only give us 17, 35-17. Boom.
It's funny because you said 35-17, right?
I did, and I'm assuming that was your score. Yeah,
No, it's not actually. I had the Bills scoring 35 points. I have the Steelers scoring 24 points. I think the Bills will win legitimately, like without me like wanting to get all my hopes up. I think the Bills win by like 9 to 10 points. 35-24 is going to be my final score prediction. I think the Bills can win by 3 scores. I think they're just going to win by 2.
35-24, what is Josh Allen's stat line?
35-24. 4 total touchdowns. 3 passing, 1 rushing, 350 passing yards. And I'd say either the defense gets a touchdown, special teams,
You said how many yards?
350.
350.
At least.
You know, they haven't allowed 300-yard rushing. Passing.
You also realize they haven't allowed 30 points in the game, yet we both said 35 points for the Buffalo Bills. So, stats are meant to be broken at some point, all right?
Hey man, I'm just putting out numbers.
I'm putting out numbers too. They haven't allowed a 300-yard passer. They haven't allowed 30 points, and yet we both predicted them to get 35 points. So that's gonna be the end of this video, guys. We're gonna try to figure out a name for this. We're gonna we might even create like a whole separate YouTube channel for this. I'm gonna figure something out. We're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna post some polls on my Twitter. It's right here. It's right on the middle of the screen for you guys. And yeah.
Sooner or later, we're gonna have to set up to where we got cameras and backgrounds and stuff. And because you got all the stuff for that. So we're gonna make this real legit out here.
Yes, we are.
We can work it out for next week.
You got any closing words, Vince?
For those that are watching, be there. Enjoy this. This is a fun time for y'all, man. Fun time for everybody. If you're confident, hey man, be confident, bro. Cause look, I've been talking shit all season to a lot of people. Cause Josh Allen has just made me a very confident person, man. I strive to be Josh Allen one day. He's my inspiration, bro. It's just crazy, man. But like I said, enjoy this. This is a fun month for us. And if you're not watching Sunday, then I just don't like you. Okay? Even though I might not know you, but we know why we're cool now. Maybe we were supposed to be cool, but we know why we're cool now. If you're not watching Buffalo in this primetime month, then something's wrong with you. You might need professional help. But other than that, man, look, hey, enjoy it, have fun, enjoy Sunday. It's gonna be fun.
All right, I'm D-Man HD here with my man Vince, and we're out. Go Bills.